Commissioner. It's always a pleasure to have the President in New York City. He's here so often that we're going to claim him as a citizen of the city of New York. He actually even shops in New York. The last time he was here, he paid his 8.25% sales tax to the city of New York, and we're very grateful that you did that. And we invite you back next week with the First Lady, because next week you can shop without any sales tax. We have a moratorium on sales tax. So if you'd like to come back and shop for next Christmas, the people of New York City would love to have you here. Just a little plug. I want to thank the President personally and for the people of the city of New York, first of all, for his advocacy of and passage of the crime bill. It has meant a great deal to the city over the last 3 years. In dollars, we've received over $400 million to hire about 2,000 additional police officers, 2,000 additional civilians who allowed us to put a number of other police officers back out on the street. And it has helped considerably in the reduction in crime in New York City, which has been the source of a great deal of assistance to the city. The city of New York is going through a real comeback, and a lot of it is attributed to the declines in crime and to the improvement in quality of life. And that would be impossible at this level without the crime bill, which you helped to pass. Last October, we announced a major initiative against drugs so that we could, over the next 2 to 3 years, reduce drugs the way we've reduced crime, so that we could hopefully lead America in drug reduction the way we have in crime reduction. In order to do that, we have to expand treatment programs, we have to expand education and prevention efforts, and we need more police officers, all the things that you provided for in the crime bill. And it's a source of great strength for the police officers here in the city and the citizens of the city to know that we can turn to you, turn to the Justice Department, and have real partners in this effort. So I want to thank you for all of the help you've given us. I want to thank Attorney General Alito for the help that she's given us in the way in which it's fair and equitable in the city of New York to support the crime bill. And I want to assure you that we will use these funds very, very effectively, continuing to reduce crime in the city, and maybe getting to a point 3 or 4 years from now where we can say that we finally turned the corner on drug abuse and drug trafficking. Because Elwood is in this world, is back to most of it. Come back to New York, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, Commissioner, Congressman Nadler, Congresswoman Maloney. Thank you for being here, and I want to thank our Associate Attorney General, Ray Fisher, for coming up with me today. Let me say that first, I want to congratulate all the men and women in the police force in New York City, the ones who are standing behind me, the ones who are out there in the audience, and the ones who are out there on the beat. There has been an amazing turnaround in America's fight against crime in the last few years. It has basically been brought about with a new philosophy, rooted in community police officers, better prevention, smarter and tougher punishment. The mayor and I have shared that philosophy. He and many others in both parties worked hard for the passage of the crime bill in 1994. And it was a fascinating debate I'll never forget as long as I live. Because the crime bill was essentially written by law enforcement officials. I see Tom Fellow nodding his head. Grassroots law enforcement officials across America. There was an astonishing amount of unanimity about it among Republicans and Democrats at the grassroots level. The only political problems we had with the crime bill were those that were basically occasioned, frankly, by the NRA and others when we got to supplementing rhetoric over reality at the debate of the crime bill. But now the evidence is in, and we know who was right and who wasn't. The efforts embodied in the crime bill and the policies of cities all across America have brought the crime rate down to a 25-year low. That's an astonishing achievement. In the last 5 years alone, there's been a 22% drop in the murder rate nationwide, a 16% drop in the rate of violent crime. In neighborhoods where children couldn't walk to school alone, where elderly people double lock themselves in their homes, people are beginning to feel confident and safe again. Community policing is at the heart of that new philosophy. It has done more to bring the crime rate down than anything else, the proper, wise deployment of police resources in a community fashion to prevent crime and to catch criminals. Since the crime bill passed, we've come a long way toward putting our goal of 100,000 police on the street. You heard the mayor say how many there were in New York City. We have to finish the job, however. We're about 2/3 of the way there since 1994. We've funded about 67,000 police officers. Today, I'm pleased to announce that we are going to help New York City hire and deploy 1,600 more community police officers. With the new police officers, we now help to fund more than 70,000 of the 100,000 community police across America. And I want you to know we intend to keep going until we've got all 100,000 on the beat. We want to get it done ahead of schedule. In the big cities like New York, where the problems of crime and drugs and guns once seemed absolutely insurmountable, real progress has been made. Now, there's still a lot to do. The mayor talked about the drug problem. Our budget coming up has more funds for drug education, drug prevention, and drug treatment. I issued an executive order just a couple of days ago relating to drug treatment in the state penitentiaries of the country. The New York Times reported today that some cities, particularly smaller cities, are still struggling, cities that had never felt the kind of problems you came to take for granted, or at least not for granted, at least a part of your daily life before, and perhaps aren't as well equipped as you are to handle them. We have more to do to clean up our cities, to get more guns and gangs and drugs off the streets, and more police officers on the streets. But if we keep going, we'll get the job done. I'd also like to say we all know that we have an unresolved problem with crime by young people, juveniles. While that rate seems to be dropping now, it's not gone down nearly as much as the overall crime rate, and I'm convinced we have to do more to deal with these young people in the hours where most of this crime is committed, which is after school but before their folks get home. We're committed to working hard with our cities to help to deal with that. So today's a good day. Hundreds of more police officers from New York City. It means a lower crime rate for a city that has proved that the police can do the job, given the kind of community support we need and the kind of far-sighted policies that I think we have to pursue together as Americans. So thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Commissioner. Thanks to the members of Congress, and my thanks to the people in the police department. Thank you very much.
After you.
Outside.